Hey guys, it is Sunday, November 3rd, 2 days before the election. And I know some of you guys are thinking about Christmas and how do you orange pill your friends and family. So I am going to be compiling today a list of all the best Bitcoin books that you can get, including, of course, the big Bitcoin book that I co-wrote with Ben Sigmund and Lee Steffens. So before I go into my list, I want you to hit subscribe on the YouTube subscribe thing. That'll help me get to 20,000. I'm almost there. That's my lifelong objective. And without further ado, let's go through the list. So I'm biased, but I think the absolute best book that you can buy, if money is no object, is the Big Bitcoin book. Now, the Big Bitcoin book is sort of a Porsche. You know, it is not the budget. It's not for the faint of budget. It's expensive. It costs a fortune to produce. This is basically the comprehensive history of Bitcoin, starting from the very beginning, from the origins of Bitcoin, everything that is just very focused on the memes of Bitcoin, the stories, the people before Satoshi, all this stuff. This is an amazing book. It's expensive. It's $300. You can find it at thebigbitcoinbook.com. It's a coffee table book. I wrote it. I'm super, super pleased with the result. It's going to sell out very soon, but let's get that one out of the way. Let's talk about the other books. Okay, so of course, I have to say the Bitcoin Standard, right? So if you want a book, if you're more budget conscious, this book you can buy for 29 bucks, and it is, it's a very good read. You can read it in an airplane. This is the hardcover version. I don't think they have a softcover version. Basically makes the argument that Bitcoin is going to replace the Fiat Standard, and goes a little bit into the history of money, talks about sound money and why it's kind of inevitable. And you should read it. It's definitely on your list. So this one, high marks for. I'm going to give this one an A+. Of course, I wrote it. This one I'm going to give an A. It's a great book. Next on my list, I'm going to go down in order of kind of how I like these books. Okay, what else do I have? I think this book is a must-buy just because it's so unusual. It's SoftWar by Jason Lowery. And Jason Lowery is a major in the military, in the Air Force, I believe. And he's written this book about how Bitcoin could potentially replace modern warfare. So it's a thought-provoking book. I don't agree with everything in it, but it's fantastic, and I think it belongs in anybody's collection. I give it an A-, which is very high for me. Now, let's see if we got some other really good ones. What else do I got here? What else do I got? Ah, perfect. This one I give an A- as well. It's a very short book by Vijay Boyapati. It's called The Bullish Case for Bitcoin. It's a few years old. It's a great short read. I don't know if I'd give it to as a Christmas present. It's a little light for a Christmas present, but I recommend having it. And maybe throw it in the mail for, just sort of a random person that you, maybe not family or friends. It's a good book. All right, what else do we got here? If you want to go more esoteric, also on the A-, this book, it's not about Bitcoin, but I think you should be in your library. It's called Fiat Money and Inflation in France. And this is an amazing book. It talks about money under the French Revolution and how basically we tried this before 300 years ago. And basically fiat money went to zero. And here's an example of the old fiat money. This was worth one cow back in the days. worth a lot less than the cow today. I think I bought it for $10 on eBay. So Fiat Money in France, like that book. This one, A- as well. Layered Money by Nick Bhatia. I really like this book. They have these kind of the pyramids that he does about showing how money is layered on one side and how it started being layered with euro dollars and even before that with like the Dutch stock market and so on. It's a very interesting book. Nick Bhatia is a professor at USC here in Los Angeles. I like this book. It's nice, it's short, it's pretty cheap. I recommend buying this book. What else do I got? If you want to understand what's happening nowadays, another A-, only because it's not pure Bitcoin, is The Bogle Effect by Eric Balchunas. This is a great book to understand ETFs and how ETFs are eating the rest of the world. I met Eric once. He's a great follow. It's a great book, great graphs, really kind of allows you to get in the mind of Ed Bogle and Vanguard and indexing and ETFs. I love that book. Okay. What else do I got here? Yeah, a bunch of math type things. And yeah, that's the only ones I'm going to recommend. I don't really have any more that I would. There's Hard Money by Lynn Alden, which I'm sort of iffy on. I give it at most a B+. There's some other books by Saifedean, which honestly I didn't like. Give that one a B-, the Fiat Standard. This one I'll give a C+, The Principles of Economics. Didn't like them very much. But yeah, those are the my main kind of go-to books on Bitcoin. Here's a more recent one that came out, which is, I found okay. It's called The Hidden Cost of Money by Seb Bunny. Came out last year. Not bad. Nothing really new. It's just a new kind of rendition by a cool kind of guy. Not a bad book. I mean, I don't know how many more of these kind of books do we need to write, but they're out there. So anyways, that's my list of Bitcoin books. And again, if you can like me on, subscribe to me on YouTube, that would help me out a lot. And again, if you want to go buy my book, you want to go to bigbitcoinbook.com. I'll put it in the show notes. And let's see how this election plays out. I have some thoughts on that. Maybe I'll put a video out tomorrow on the election. But anyways, have a good day today. And we're at 69,000. Let's see if we can push this thing to an all-time high before the election. See ya.